guys, what's up? My name is Rachel and welcome back to my channel, Reading with Remy. Today I'm going to be bringing to you my O.W.L's Readathon TBR for April of 2020. If you don't know what the owls are, it's created by Book Rose, which I'll leave a link down to her announcement video in the comments below. It's based on Harry Potter, and basically you pick a career from one of 27 careers that she's created, exams you have to take for each subject that's relevant to your career choice, and then later in the year she'll have the newts where you have to, again, with your selected career, do some reading for certain prompts for your exams, and then you can get your career. So for this, I've chosen to be a Hogwarts professor. I'm going to be a professor in Transfiguration. So part of that is you have to have, there are 7 prompts I have to do for mine, 1 in the subject that you're choosing to teach, 1 for Defense Against the Dark Arts, and then 5 more in like any other subject you choose. So I went with Transfiguration. I've always loved Transfiguration. McGonagall is my favorite professor. She's a badass. Also, it tied in well with a side quest that she has, which is to become an animagus, which relies heavily on Transfiguration, that I have chosen as another one because, let's be honest, 7 books is kind of hard for me to read, so I was trying to double up if I could. So that's kind of what happened there. So anyway, I'm just going to go through my TBR and I'll let you know the prompts that go with each class that I'm doing. I'm only doing 7 because I'm not an ambitious reader. I know myself. 7 is plenty to try and do. So first up, we have Transfiguration, obviously because that's what I'm teaching. And that is Animagus Lecture, a book or series that includes shapeshifting. With this I'm going for Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. This is the 2nd book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. I'm sure most of you know what this is by this point. I'm just a little late to the party because I had a bad experience with Mortal Instruments, wasn't super interested in reading these, but I've heard they're better. I finally finished Clockwork Angel last month, kind of loved it. I hate to admit when I'm wrong, but I did love it, so I decided this would be perfect because I'm bad about finishing series, so why not make it a prompt? Motivation. I did start this because it's currently April 6th, so I'm a little behind on posting this / filming it, but I did start this yesterday and I'm already so ready to see where this goes. I may or may not be turning into a Cassandra Clare lover. I don't know, we'll see. So the 2nd prompt that I'm doing is Defense Against the Dark Arts. This one is required for Hogwarts Professor regardless of what you plan to teach. And that prompt was Grindylows book set at the sea/coast. For this I went with Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, book 3, The Ship of the Dead. This is the final book in the Magnus Chase trilogy. I read the first 2 an embarrassing long number of years ago, like 2, and never finished it. No good reason. I've had this book for years, just never got around to it. I have kind of cheated. I started this in March and I finished it like on April 1st. So I've actually already read this one. Loved it, by the way. Don't know why I waited so long, but I'm still counting it because I did finish it in April and I'm not the best reader, so I'm giving myself credit where I can take it. The next prompt is Arithmancy, and that is Magical Qualities of number 2. So basically you're doing the opposite, or balance/opposites, which is just a book outside of your comfort zone or in a genre you don't really read, like outside of your favorite genre. So for that I went with The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. This is an adult contemporary novel. I'm counting this because I don't read adult books hardly at all. It's very rare that I read an adult book. Actually, this year I've read more adult books than I normally do. But this has been kind of popular on BookTube. This is a newer release. It's about a guy and a girl who share a flat. And the guy is working night shifts, so they're not supposed to ever meet, really. But they start sharing notes with each other in their flat, just about, like, you know, when's the trash go out, such and such. And they kind of fall in love, or that's what I've heard anyway. I've only just started this on chapter 14, which is like 50-something pages in. I'm liking it so far. I can definitely tell this is not a genre that I normally read because, yeah, it's hard for it to, like, grip me. The next prompt that I did was Potions, is Shrinking Solution, a book under 150 pages. So I'm going with Alex and Ada Volume 1 by Jonathan Luna and Sarah Vaughn. This is a graphic novel about a guy who gets an AI, and that's really all you need to know, honestly. I already read this one too. I finished this one yesterday, actually. The next one is Ancient Ruins, which was a book with heart in the title or a heart on the cover. So for that I went with Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. I did already finish this as well. another one of those things where I started on like March 31st, finished it on April 1st, but it still counts. This is a book about boys meeting at an all-boy prep school in their homeroom, and they kind of fall in love with each other. This left off on a series cliffhanger, by the way, and I'm not happy about it, and I'm gonna have to order the next book immediately. Next we have Divination, which was using a random number generator to pick your book. So I've set up a stack of 7 books, I want to say, and put it into a random number generator. And I got Blue Lily, Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the 3rd book in the Raven cycle, which is like a paranormal, kind of a witch book, kind of not. It deals more with like psychics, I would say, and ley lines and stuff like that. So it is kind of, it's definitely paranormal. I really enjoyed this series so far. I read the first one a really long time ago, and then I just read The Dream Thieves. Again, sensing a trend, I'm horrible with series. But I'm glad that they pulled this one, because then I'll actually like maybe finish this series in this year. And then the last book that I have is for herbology, which was, I'm gonna say this wrong, Mimbulus Mimbletonia. Oh yeah. So it had to start with M, which is pretty simple. Although you think that would be easy, but I actually had a really hard time picking this book. But I ended up going with My Plain Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. I loved My Lady Jane. I have never laughed so hard in a book in my life, still to this day, and I read that like 2 years ago. So this fall is kind of like a Jane Eyre retelling from what I've heard. I don't really know anything else about it. I don't really need to know anything else about it. If it's anything like the original or the first one, it's gonna be really good. That's it for my Owls TBR. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Go ahead and drop down like your career if you're gonna do it in the comments below, and let me know what books you're reading. Maybe it'll inspire me. If one of these isn't clicking, I'll take one of your recommendations, who knows. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!